Hello, doctor. We are from the group 2, and we are doing the peer evaluation. The group we are evaluate is the group 3 and group 4. Now let's watch the group 3's videos together.
Can everyone watch the screen now?
Yeah.
Yes. Let's begin.
Yeah, okay.
Good day, everyone. We are Group 3, and today we are excited to present our positive psychology awareness campaign titled Lead from Within Positive Leadership. This campaign was designed to promote psychological well-being and effective leadership using the PERMA model by Martin Seligman as our guiding framework. The main goal of our event was to create a practical and engaging experience for all participants, not just learning about positive psychology, but also living it. We had 4 core objectives: to establish a warm and inclusive environment for social bonding and rapport, to inspire reflective thinking through real-life leadership stories, to encourage critical thinking and personal value expressions through debate, and to promote understanding of how individual strengths and well-being contribute to authentic leadership. Our event took place on May 29, 2025 from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. and included a full lineup of activities like ice-breaking games to set a warm tone, a powerful guest sharing session, The Strengths We Lead With, dinner and casual mingling for relationship building, a debate session that encouraged personal expressions, and finally a group photo to capture the memories. Now, let's dive into the core psychological framework behind our campaign, the PERMA model, developed by Martin Seligman, one of the founding figures of positive psychology. PERMA stands for P, positive emotions, E, engagement, R, relationships, M, meaning, and A, accomplishment. These 5 elements are considered the building blocks of psychological well-being, and we wanted our entire campaign to reflect that. Rather than focusing purely on leadership skills or technical knowledge, we wanted to highlight how well-being and leadership are deeply interconnected. As Seligman's model suggests, when people experience positive emotions, feel engaged in what they do, build strong relationships, find purpose, and achieve meaningful goals, they naturally become more resilient, confident, and effective leaders. In our campaign, we didn't just want to talk about PERMA, we wanted participants to experience it. For example, we designed activities that reduce anxiety. We design activities that help reduce anxiety and encourage positive emotional states, especially at the beginning. Our debate and leadership sharing sessions were crafted to stimulate deep engagement, requiring focus, attention, and authentic participation. By facilitating casual conversations during dinner and group discussions, we nurtured genuine relationships and emotional bonding. And most importantly, we provided space for participants to reflect on their values and purpose, which is where meaning comes in. Finally, through open expressions in the debate, many participants felt a sense of accomplishment, especially those who normally find it difficult to speak up. Through this model, we are able to create not only a leadership team event, but one that aligned with deeper psychological needs and strengths. It showed us that true leadership isn't just about titles, it's about self-awareness, human connection, and growth from within. To kick off our campaign, we started with an ice-breaking session designed to reduce social anxiety and build a psychologically safe space. Participants stood in a circle and took turns sharing a 1-minute elevator speech to introduce themselves. This simple yet effective activity helped lower social barriers, encourage authentic participation, and set a warm and open tone that lasted throughout the entire event. Our second activity featured an inspiring guest sharing session titled The Strength We Lead With. Mr. Thomas and Mr. Bernard shared personal stories centered on resilience, humility, and courage. Their powerful messages like leadership gets taken, not given, and volunteer before you feel ready deeply resonated with participants, sparking reflections on failure, growth, and what it truly means to lead. The authenticity of their experiences made a lasting impact on everyone in the room.
Presenting activity 3 and 4, learning outcomes, limitation, and finally conclusion. So our third activity of the day was dinner, networking, and casual mingling. So after the guest sharing, we shifted to a more relaxed vibe with dinner and casual mingling. So this was more than just food. It was a chance for everyone to build real connections across different cultures and backgrounds. The aim was to create a space for open and comfortable conversation, and honestly, it worked. Even the participants who were quieter at first, they started to open up. This activity really reflected the relationship and engagement part of the PERMA model. Everyone felt more connected and included. And it laid the groundwork for the confidence that people showed in the next session, which is the debate. And our final and main highlight of the event is the debate session. So it's a structured session on the motion, democracy is not always the best form of the government. Yes, it's a very bold topic. Two teams went head to head, but it was done in a very respectful and safe space. The idea was to encourage critical thinking and allow people to express personal values with confidence. Something interesting was how culture shaped responses. For example, some of the French participants were really very passionate about defending their personal values of democratic values. This session touched on multiple elements of PERMA model, like meaning, accomplishment, and again, engagement. People not only practice public speaking, but also learn how to handle disagreement with emotional intelligence. So moving on to the next slide, learning outcomes. So what did we really gain from this campaign? First, it wasn't just about learning about leadership, it was about practicing it. Everyone had moments of self-awareness, courage, and connection. Through every activity, from ice-breaking, cash sharing, networking to debating, we saw the PERMA model in action. Positive emotion, engagement, relationship, meaning, and accomplishment. We didn't just talk about leadership, we felt it and we lived it. And because of that, everyone walked away with more confidence and clarity in how they want to lead. Moving on to limitations and recommendation. Said that there were a few things that we could have improved. Time were definitely tight, especially during the Q&A and networking session. Some sessions could have used a bit more breathing room to reflect and engage. And also at the start, there were a few participants who were hesitant to speak up. So for next time, it might help to give a bit of pre-event preparation for them, like a short speaker bio or reflection questions to warm up the participants before we start any event. And finally, maybe pairing more talkative people with quieter ones to really encourage a balanced participation. Overall though, even with the small challenges, this campaign still delivered a solid result. And lastly, to conclude all things off, the campaign really lived up to its name, Lead from Within. We didn't focus just on technical leadership skills, but we also focused on self-awareness, emotional strength, and human connection. We created a space that was inclusive and reflective, where everyone felt safe to be authentic. As the slide says, from insight to impact, turning personal growth into leadership action. This campaign is definitely a model that can be reused. It's practical, strength-based, and most importantly, human-centered. And I think that's what a real leadership is all about. Thank you so much.
While you're still not threatening your employer, you can utilize that because you get much more feedback. We try to uplift each other because we need each other.
Hey guys, it's a really, how to say, I think it's a really wonderful presentation, I think. So, so let's begin our peer evaluation discussion for the Group 3's presentation, which titled is Lead from Within Positive Leadership. I think they had a clear and inspiring goal using the PERMA model by Martin Seligman. So let's go through the evaluation together and each share our thoughts. So who would like to start with content and clarity?
Sure, I can start. I think their contents are well curated. Actually, they are used for the program models give a strong psychology foundation to their campaigns with the events. It's great that they link each other like with the environment of the pre-med leadership trend. However, I feel that the explanation of the rabbit should be me like clearer because it's like briefing like mentioned that without much explanation. Who's the next one?
Yeah, I agree also like that it made the student interaction with reflection and storytelling, but it would be more engaged if they added more real life leadership case studies instead of general statements. Still, it's clear they put effort into content creation. So, who is next one?
Okay. From a delivery part of the view, I think the speakers were confident and spoke clearly, even though some parts like they were memorized. One or two translation between speakers was a bit sudden, but overall the language and the tone were quite sustainable for their activities. And the next one.
Yes, and I think their creative ideas of using debate to trigger critical things was impossible. It puts the audience to reflect on their own leadership values. And I would recommend they use more visuals or audience posts to further boost interactions. And with the next one.
Agreed. Their influence and the message were strong. They really emphasized the importance of internal growth and authenticity in leadership. The idea of leading from within is powerful and very relevant to our generation. Their structure was logical too, from theory to application. This is all the evaluation to the group 3. Let's watch the group 4's presentation video.
Hello everyone, we're Group 4 on the Positive Psychology for Managers. Today we are excited to share with you our project called UM Relief, Regulation Without Anxiety. This is a mental wellness initiative designed for UM graduating students. Let's introduce our group members. I'm Zhao Xiaoqian, Zhao Xiang, Yu Wanyue, Wang Hao, Jiang Hanru, Hu Weiqing. So why did we start this project? Well, as graduation approaches, many students face a lot of stress from our surveys and interviews. We found that more than 26% of students feel anxious frequently. 20% has trouble sleeping due to constant pressure, and another 26% say their faces and job hunting are the biggest resources of stress. So our team wanted to do something helpful to ease this pressure. Next, when designing the project, we used ideas from positive psychology, such as emotion regulation. We're encouraging the students to do small daily check-ins in a WhatsApp group, use emojis or simple tests like writing a thank you message or doing quick mindfulness activity, gratitude and mindfulness practices. We also post the content on our official platform about writing gratitude lists or learning simple meditation techniques. Effect labeling, we created a gratitude anxiety wheel where students could write down their feelings. This made it easier for recognize and express emotions. Psychological capital, this includes help, optimism, self-efficacy, and resilience activities like blue release, meditation, and yoga help the students release stress and feel more in control. So our project focuses on 3 main goals. The first, we can help students better manage their emotions. And the second, creating a supportive emotion space where students feel safe to share and connect. And building up inner strength like confidence and recognize and show small positive experience. So in the next part, we will introduce activities we organized and the results we achieved. We hope our project can bring you some inspiration and comfort. This is all my part. Thank you everyone for listening.
Hi, my name is Wang Hao. I will introduce the design and methodology for our activities. We have chosen a combination of the online and the physical format to make participation is more feasible and accessible for the students. Our target group is mainly final year students and the University of Malaysia. And the other students have same situation as well have the academic pressure. And our activity is will run from June 2 to June 15, which is the RP revision and submission period. This timing allows us to provide timely support and help the students better manage stress. Now let's talk about the online part. For the online part of our activity, we use the platform like WeChat, Instagram, and the WhatsApp group to reach more students from different countries. This helps us include both local and international students in the activities. We also use a Microsoft Teams to hold online session about the meditation and yoga. This session gives students some easy and useful way to relax and reduce the stress. Besides that, we start a 7-day more check-in in the WhatsApp group. This small activity helps students think more about their feelings and stay aware of their emotion each day. Now I'd like to talk about the offline part of our activity. We organized a physical lecture to help the student understand the stress and learn how to manage it in its daily life. The goal was to give them useful knowledge and increase the awareness of the mental health. We also include the popping games. This is fun activities give students a chance to relax, interact with the others, and release emotion in the light-hearted way. It's by combining both the serious and fun element. It's we hope to create a more supportive and comfortable environment for everyone involved.
Hi everyone, our team designed this Grad Relief Stress Relief campaign based on the positive psychology. This is actually the first part of our promotional project. The main goal was to help graduating students deal with stress, improve their emotions, and build resilience during this very important period. We planned the campaign to be very rich and flexible, combining both online and offline activities so that students could join in different ways. We included Microsoft Teams and offline talks to give students some basic knowledge and tips. We also did an offline balloon popping event, a series of WeChat public articles, and a 7-day stress relief activity through the WhatsApp group. All activities were actually carefully scheduled to fit the students' academic calendar. For example, during the deadlines of our final presentation and the thesis deadline, we wanted the campaign to be meaningful, practical, and very accessible for the students. One of the key activities were the balloon popping stress relief event. We chose this because it's very simple, interactive, and fun for students, and also very effective emotionally. First, we asked students to write down their stress, their worries, or negative feelings on the balloons. Then they pop the balloons, which symbolically helps release these emotions. This is based on the positive psychology theory of emotion regulation by growth, and also the idea of symbolic behavioral intervention from Fredrickson, Sporden, and Build theory. We also included small group sharing after the popping, so that students could talk to each other, give peer support, and feel more connected. You can see from the photos, they're really engaged and enjoy the activity. It helped to create a very supportive, positive atmosphere, and students gave us very good feedback. We also planned and carried out a 7-day WeChat content campaign. For this part, we created articles based on the positive psychology practices, focusing on the topics like how to manage emotions, mindfulness, gratitude writing, and building self-confidence. We prepared both Chinese and English content so more students could easily follow. We also made sure to publish during peak stress periods when students were preparing for deadlines or exams or the presentations. Some examples of our articles include when you feel the urge to watch more videos, your brain may be protecting you. And Sunshine Life Plan start with the small changes. Here you can see screenshots of our posts and some feedbacks from students. They really like the content and found it helpful. Though this online campaign, we try to give students small but useful tips they can apply in daily life and provide emotional support in an easy, accessible way.
Hello everyone, my name is Yu Wenyuan. Let me talk about other activities about Grad Relief this topic. We ran a 7-day emotional relief activity through a WhatsApp group. On some Mondays, we share short courage message with emojis, while in the evening we would invite everyone to reflect on their feelings or try to a simple mental wellness task, like a quick meditation, mood emoji checking, or writing something they were grateful or simple yoga. So nearly 40 students joined and each day focused on something a little different. So it always feels fresh and meaningful. Many students opened up that they were anxious about, and others responded with words of support and encouragement. So it became a space where people can feel safe and to be honest and kind. This sense of shared experience was something we didn't expect, but really appreciated. We also organized an offline talk about graduation anxiety and emotional self-care. It wasn't a formal lecture. We are share real personal experience and talk openly about the pressures we are facing. So along the way, we introduced some simple technique inspired by positive psychology to help manage anxiety and stress. So such as graduated exercise and breathing practice. After the talk, we set up 2 keynote words, one for I'm most anxiety about, and another for today I'm grateful. So nearly 100 notes were posted. Reading what others wrote made many students stop, smile, and even add their own messages. So it created a quiet but powerful space for empathy and connection. Lastly, we held an online meditation and yoga session. Nearly 14 students joined at the same time from different places. We followed a short meditation and simple yoga strategies. So some students told us that was the first time I truly feel calmed down, or I didn't expect such small moments to bring peace. It reminds us that the emotional relief doesn't require complex tools sometimes. It's simply the moment was pressed together. So this whole activity was our way of saying taking care of your emotion can be light, shared, and even a little bit joyful.
Hello everyone, let me share some of the main results of our project. We had nearly 100 students join our activities. Based on the feedback we got it, over 90% said they feel less stressed, and after these activities, around 70% they say they would join again and recommend to the other students to join us. And that showed this project really helpful. And during our offline events, students wrote the 16 stress notes. A lot of them talk about scissors pressure, job hunting, and comparing themselves to the others. In the balloon activities, many students said popping the balloon helped them feel more relaxed. And in our 7-day WhatsApp group, students were really active, and about 78% keep the checking and after the 4 days, students start up to each other and give the support to each other. And at the same time, we post the 7 articles on our official account, and the topics include how to stay calm during the graduation and the way to deal with the stress and the simple tips from the positive psychologist. Those posts got over to 2,600 and the views, and the top 3 posts made up more than 60% of the total views, which shows our picked topics that really spoke to the student. And overall, the number of the feedback shows that our project had a strong and positive impact. And next. And for the main challenges, of course, we had some problems too. The biggest one of is the timing and the schedule. Our activities happened nearly to the end of the semester when the most students were busy with the final papers and exam. So some students, they said they even noticed the this activities information until the last minutes. So we also had the space problems. It was hard to reservation to the classroom and use the school equipment. So some events had to be moved or changed the Saturday. That made the planning much harder. And also, since all of us in the team are also graduating the students, so we had a lot of schoolwork at the same time. So some team members had to leave because the exam of the CSIS changes. So the others students need to make down works. So that caused some delay and confusion to the in the communication with our group members. And next. And we teammate to resolve these problems. We made the few changes. The first, we set up the daily duty systems. Each day, one person was in charge of the certain tasks, like the posting updates or checking message. This helped our keep everything on track and share the work more evenly. Secondly, we wrote the simple templates and the script in the advance, like the social media post format and the event checklist. That way, if someone had to leave or had another scenes, others could quickly to take over. And finally, we had a short online meeting every day, just 2 minutes to check our programs and help each others solve the small problems. This helps our move faster and avoid misunderstanding. And in the end, the project didn't just support students emotionally; it also helped for our team grow. So we learned how to work together and managing tasks and deal with the some difficult details and run a real project. And we hope to use what we learned to run more helpful programs like this in the future. That's all. Thank you.
And next, I will make a conclusion and recommendations about our campaigns. Our campaign wasn't just about organizing activities, it was about feeling, reflecting, and growing. Through every stick note, emoji check-in, or the quiet sharing moment, we realized that the emotional awareness really matters. Most of us carry invisible stress, but once we name it down, we begin to release it. And also, peer care is powerful. When support comes from someone who truly understands us, it feels safe and real. And also, the empathy turns into action. We didn't just talk about the stress, we also create space where the emotion can be seen, heard, and held. And that's what we learn. And it's something we will carry. We also believe mental health shouldn't be an emergency-only topic. So to keep this spirit going, we have a few ideas. Firstly, to create quiet corners or emotion boards around the campus. It's a simple space for the reflection. And secondly, make the Mindful Fridays or gratitude events a regular part of campus life. And thirdly, we can use the WhatsApp or WeChat to keep the mental wellness invisible through the emoji check-ins or short reflections. And finally, empower student wellness ambassadors, peers helping peers. When students support each other, the mental health becomes more open and less scary. At last, this campaign isn't just ending, and hopefully it's beginning something. Maybe it starts with a sticky note, an emoji, or a small chat with your friend. And these little things, they really matter because they remind us you are not alone. Taking care of yourself isn't weakness, it's strength. And we hope this campaign planted a small seed in you. May it grow into care, reflection, and kindness for yourself and others. And that's all of our group's presentation. Thank you.
Okay, so that's all of Group 4's presentation. I think Group 4 demonstrated a deep sense of empathy and genuine care for their peers throughout this report. So from the very beginning, it was evident that the team truly understood the emotional and psychological pressures that graduating students face. Instead of just identifying the problems, So Group 4 thoughtfully designed the meaningful and student-central interventions that were both practical and emotional supportive. This compassion and insight gave the entire campaign a heartfelt and authentic quality, I think.
Alright, so actually from ideas for opinions and feedback for this group 4 presentation, actually the regressions of a positive psychology theory into the real life application of one of the group 4 biggest trends. Actually the teams like did not just reference the academic concept, like they bring them to life. They bring them to life through the well-designed like activities like the creative driving, writing, mindfulness tasks also for emotional check-ins. Actually, the tourist should hope resilience also for a self-effectively, effectively transformation into the travel experience that make a real impact on the participants. So what is the next one?
Okay, for my opinion, the campaign designed by Group 4 was incredibly thoughtful and strategic. Their decision to combine both online and offline elements showed a clear awareness of the diverse needs and habits of students. From the use of WeChat and Instagram to in-person events like the lecture and staying not to worry, the campaign was well timed and clearly structured to engage students during a high stress period in a gentle, supportive way. So that's all my opinion.
Okay, from a delivery point of the view, Group 4 was super creative and come up with some really original ideas. Things like the balloon popping and the sticker notes were fun but also meaningful. They gave people a nice way to let out their feelings without a pressure. It was a great mix of fun and emotion support, and the whole vibe felt safe and chill. And the next one.
Yeah, and I think it was inspiring to see how Group 4 navigated logistical challenges with flexibility, strong teamwork, and professionalism. And despite balancing their own graduation responsibilities, the team maintained excellent coordination and communication. Their use of the daily rotation system, prepared templates, and quick response strategies ensure the project stays on track and allow them to adapt swiftly when the issue arose. That's all.
The conclusion and the reflections from Group 4 were particularly impactful. Their recommendations for sustainable and low barrier mental health support, like quiet reflection spaces and digital check-ins, were both practical and insightful. Most of all, Group 4's message that emotional care can start with small everyday gestures were beautifully communicated, and the campaign served not only as a well-executed project, but also as a heartfelt reminder of the power of the empathy and the shared human experience. This is all the evaluation for the Group 4, and our group's peer evaluation is finished. Thank you, Doctor.